Greetings, everybody. So right now I am in New Orleans, Louisiana. And what's really cool about New Orleans is that when you walk around the streets here, there are just so many trees heavy with fruit. You see citruses like everywhere. You see kumquats and grapefruits and lemons and oranges, just like on the side of the road as like landscaping and whatever else. For those who like to forage, New Orleans is an incredible place for that. You can go down the street with a bag and like by the end of the day you'll have a big bag full of food. So trying to find things that I have not had, that's where it gets a little bit tricky. But I do see palm trees. Palm trees are all over the place here, and palm trees are something that I do not know that much about. Honestly, there are palm tree people who have dedicated a lot of their time to identifying and understanding and growing palm trees. I'm not one of those people. So for me, when I see a palm tree with fruit on it, I am curious about it, but not sure if it is edible or not, because some palm trees are not edible. So whenever I've had palm trees in the past, it's been under the guidance of somebody that knows what they're talking about, or it was something I bought at a market, so I feel like it's safe to eat. But when you just like walk down the street and you see a palm tree with fruit on it, I don't know if that's something that's going to hurt me or not. But one of them looked so appealing to me that I decided to pick it up, and I ran it by some fruit identifying people. And this is from the queen palm. I'm standing outside Tom's Diner, a site most recognizable for any Seinfeld fans watching. This was the exterior shot used on the show. You might be wondering why I'm here. Well, I'm here to tell you about Wren. Wren is a website that is designed to help you help the environment. Every day we do things that are harmful to the environment. Traveling, using electricity, buying too much stuff. Guys, it adds up. But no need to worry, with Wren's online calculator, you can estimate just how big your carbon footprint is, and then it will give you options to fund efforts that will help offset that footprint. Wren will even send you updates to show you just where your money is going and how it's making a difference. In the description box below, you will find a link. If you click that link, it'll take you to the website, but because it's my link, Wren will protect 10 extra acres of rainforest. 10 acres, so there's no reason not to click that link. So click that link to learn more and do something to help the planet today. The queen palm is something I've seen before. I've seen it out in nature and have been curious about it, but too afraid to pick it because, you know, don't want to get sick. But it is edible. Queen palms are edible. This is something that is common throughout a lot of the southern United States, in Florida and Louisiana, I believe in California. You can see this also. It's grown as a landscaping thing. It's grown by gardeners a lot of the times, and it has a fleshy fruit on it. These look quite a lot like the jelly palm, which is a palm fruit that I had when I was in California, and that is because these are related to the jelly palm. In fact, you can actually cross the queen palm with the jelly palm and produce a hybridized fruit of the two. The difference between this and the jelly palm, where the jelly palm is a lot better, is that jelly palms are short, so you can pick the fruit without too much trouble. The queen palm, they're really, really tall. In fact, the one that I saw was growing up so high that there's no way I'd be able to reach the fresh fruit myself unless I climbed it, and I don't think that the people who were living right beside that tree would be too happy with me climbing a tree in front of their yard. This I actually picked off the ground, which is always the best idea, but it seemed like these fell fairly recently. They're fully intact. Bugs haven't seemed to have gotten to them or anything like that. I'm not sure if you can eat the skin or not, so first let me just peel it a little bit. And wow, that is really fibrous. You can see that super fibrous little fruit. There's also quite slimy. It smells very sweet and vaguely sulfuric, like egg fruit. It's like a very fruity egg fruit kind of smell. There's a very large seed in there. It's very stringy. It is stuck in my teeth right now. I hardly took a bite out of that. I saw online that the way to eat this is you just kind of like pop it in your mouth, suck the sweetness off of it, and spit out the fibers. You can eat the fibers, but it can trouble your stomach somewhat. It's very sticky, a little slimy, but the flavor of it is actually quite good. The flavor of this is similar to banana. Like if you took a bite out of like a very sweet, maybe a little bit overripe Cavendish. But there's more to it beyond that. Maybe a touch of coconut kind of flavor, and a touch of a like more of a fruity sort of flavor, maybe like apricot, like a touch of apricot. You know, I feel like a little bit hesitant just like popping these into my mouth because there's something I pick off the ground, but you know, I'm only gonna have so many chances to eat this thing, so try one whole. The sweetness on this is quite high. It's not quite sugar, but it's way up there. It's like a 9. It's not super sour, maybe a little bit, like a 1 out of 10. It's a little bit difficult to eat. I mean, look at this. This is, I mean, you probably don't want to look at this, but it's like very, very fibrous. So you kind of get some of that flavor out of it, and then pull out the fibers. But besides that, it's very tasty. So if I were to really work at this, I can get to that seed on the inside. And I tried to find out if you can eat the seed, and I found conflicting resources on that. I found one source that said that the seeds are poisonous, they can make you sick, and if a dog eats it, it can kill your dog. And I've seen people say that the seeds on almost any palm are edible, so you can eat it. But I think the real thing here, this is really gross by the way, I'm just like yanking off all this fiber to get to the seed. But the main thing about it is that I think if you were to eat the seed, probably okay, but it's so small and this is going to be so hard to get into that you're going to get a teeny tiny bit of flesh or a kernel, I guess, and it's probably not going to be that great. It's probably going to at best taste a little bit like coconut, because that has been the case with almost every seed that I've had from palm fruit. Yeah, so I think that's probably as good as I'm going to be able to get it. And yeah, I'm at an Airbnb right now. There is no chance in hell that I'm going to be able to like get into this thing here without breaking furniture, which probably shouldn't do. But anyway, this is a actually surprisingly tasty thing. I've heard a few people online say this is not very good, but honestly, this tastes good to me. But it's the sort of thing where I think if you, it's like in your yard, or you're like walking through and you see one that has fallen recently and looks clean enough, might be a good like foraging snack. Or I've heard people make juice out of this sometimes. They collect a whole bunch of them and juice them. That would be totally good. So I think that's all I have to say about the queen palm. This is a cool one to try. If you see this one growing and you're sure that it is what I say it is, then try one. They're actually quite good. And this has inspired me to go back outside into New Orleans, into the streets, and to poke around, and maybe I'll find something else that is just as interesting as this one. Until then, I'll see ya. Bye. I would like to give a very special shout out to Luca. Luca is a mega patron over on patreon.com. I talk about it a lot, but if you haven't heard about it already, my Patreon page is basically how I afford to go on all the adventures that I do. So check out the link in the description below if you haven't already. And Luca, thanks again.